T+0 hours, the arrival. In a highly secure government laboratory, deep within the United States, a team of scientists and engineers held their breath. The culmination of years of research and countless hours of work was about to be realized. The room was filled with the hum of advanced machinery, the flicker of monitors, and the tense anticipation of the team. At the center of the room stood a large, cylindrical chamber, surrounded by a complex array of equipment. Dr. Emily Carter, the lead physicist, glanced at her colleagues and gave a nod. "Initiate the sequence," she commanded. The room fell silent as the technicians began the final countdown. The particle accelerator roared to life, generating a surge of energy that would stabilize the temporal bridge. A blinding flash of light filled the chamber, and for a moment, it seemed as if time itself had stopped. When the light faded, the figure of George Washington stood in the chamber, looking bewildered and out of place. The father of the nation had been brought to the present. T+1 minute, initial containment. The containment chamber's doors slid open, and a team of medical professionals and security personnel rushed in. Washington, dressed in his 18th-century attire, looked around in confusion. His eyes widened as he took in the strange surroundings and the people in white coats. "Sir, please remain calm," Dr. Carter said, stepping forward. "We mean you no harm. You are safe." Washington's hand instinctively went to his side, where his sword would have been, but he found nothing. He took a deep breath, trying to steady himself. "Pray, where am I?" he asked, his voice steady despite the confusion. "You are in a secure facility in the United States," Dr. Carter explained. "We have brought you here through a scientific experiment. Please, allow our medical team to ensure you are in good health." T+0:15, Preliminary Health Assessment. Washington was guided to a nearby examination table, where the medical team began their work. They used advanced scanners and diagnostic tools to check his vital signs, blood pressure, and overall health. The equipment beeped and whirred, providing real-time data to the monitors. Dr. Sarah Mitchell, the head of the medical team, smiled reassuringly at Washington. "You are in good health, Mr. Washington. Just a bit disoriented, which is to be expected." Washington nodded, still trying to process everything. This surpasses all that I could have ever conceived," he said, his voice filled with awe and confusion. T+1 hour, briefing and orientation. With the preliminary health assessment complete, Dr. Carter and Dr. Mitchell led Washington to a more comfortable room, designed to resemble a study from his time. The walls were lined with books, and a large wooden desk stood in the center. A historian and a psychologist were waiting, ready to help Washington acclimate to his new reality. "Mr. Washington, my name is Dr. John Adams," the historian said, extending his hand. "I am here to help you understand the situation and answer any questions you may have." Washington shook his hand, his grip firm. "I have many inquiries, Dr. Adams. This world is vastly different from the one I am acquainted with." Dr. Adams nodded. "We will take it one step at a time. For now, please know that you are safe, and we are here to help you." As the minutes turned into hours, Washington began to grasp the enormity of what had happened. He listened intently as Dr. Adams and the psychologist explained the advancements in science, technology, and society. They used period-appropriate language and references to make the transition easier for him. Despite the overwhelming nature of the situation, Washington's innate leadership and resilience shone through. He asked thoughtful questions, seeking to understand this new world he had been thrust into. The team was impressed by his composure and adaptability. The briefing and conversation. The room was designed to resemble a study from the late 18th century, with wooden furniture, shelves lined with books, and a large desk in the center. George Washington sat in a high-backed chair, his posture straight and his expression a mix of curiosity and wariness. Dr. John Adams, the historian, and Dr. Emily Carter, the psychologist, sat across from him, ready to begin the briefing. Dr. Adams, Mr. Washington, it is an honor to meet you. My name is Dr. John Adams, and I am a historian. This is Dr. Emily Carter, a psychologist. We are here to help you understand the situation and to answer any questions you may have. Washington, nodding, I thank thee, Dr. Adams, Dr. Carter. Pray, tell me, what manner of sorcery hath brought me to this strange place? Dr. Carter, smiling gently, it is not sorcery, Mr. Washington, but science. We have developed a way to travel through time, and you have been brought here as part of an experiment. Washington, raising an eyebrow, time travel, thou sayest? Such a notion is beyond the ken of my understanding. How is it possible? Dr. Adams, it is indeed a complex and wondrous achievement. We have harnessed the power of quantum mechanics and advanced technology to create a stable bridge through time. It is a feat that has taken many years and the collaboration of brilliant minds. Washington, leaning forward, quantum mechanics? These words are foreign to mine ears. Explain it to me as thou wouldst to a child. Dr. Carter, of course, Mr. Washington. Imagine time as a river, flowing continuously. We have found a way to create a bridge that allows us to cross from one point in the river to another. This bridge is made possible by manipulating the smallest particles in the universe, which we call quanta. Washington, nodding slowly, I see. And what purpose doth this experiment serve? Why have I been chosen? Dr. Adams, you were chosen because of your significant role in the founding of our nation. We believed that your insights and experiences would be invaluable to us. Additionally, your presence allows us to study the effects of time travel on a human being from a different era. Washington, thoughtfully, I understand. Yet, I must confess, this world is most bewildering to me. The sights, the sounds, the very air feels different. Dr. Carter, that is perfectly natural, Mr. Washington. You have been thrust into a world that has changed dramatically since your time. We are here to help you acclimate and to provide support as you navigate these changes. Washington, sighing, I am grateful for thy assistance. Tell me, what hath become of the United States? Doth it still stand as a beacon of liberty? Dr. Adams, smiling, indeed, Mr. Washington. The United States has grown and prospered beyond what you could have imagined. It is now a nation of 50 states, with a population of over 300 million people. It remains a symbol of freedom and democracy. Washington, eyes widening, 50 states? 300 million souls? 'Tis a number beyond comprehension. How hath such growth been achieved? Dr. Carter, through advancements in technology, medicine, and industry. We have made great strides in many fields, improving the quality of life and expanding our reach across the continent and beyond. Washington, nodding, I see. And what of the government? Doth it still adhere to the principles we laid down? Dr. Adams, yes, the Constitution remains the foundation of our government. While there have been changes and amendments, the core principles of liberty, justice, and democracy endure. Washington, smiling, that is heartening to hear. I am eager to learn more of this world and to see how our fledgling nation hath flourished. Dr. Carter, we will take it one step at a time, Mr. Washington. For now, let us focus on helping you acclimate. We have prepared materials and resources to assist you, and we will be here to answer any questions you may have. Washington, I thank thee, Dr. Carter, Dr. Adams. Thy kindness and patience are most appreciated. I shall endeavor to learn and adapt to this new world. Dr. Adams, we are honored to have you with us, Mr. Washington. Together, we will navigate this journey and uncover the wonders of the present. The conversation continued, with Washington asking more questions about the advancements and changes in society, technology, and governance. Dr. Adams and Dr. Carter provided thoughtful and detailed explanations, ensuring that Washington felt supported and informed. Despite the overwhelming nature of the situation, Washington's resilience and curiosity shone through, and he began to adapt to his new reality. Historical integration. T+12 hours, historical integration. The room was filled with a quiet hum of activity as historians and cultural experts prepared to meet with George Washington. They had gathered materials, including books, documents, and visual aids, to help bridge the gap between the 18th century and the present day. Washington, now more composed and curious, was ready to delve deeper into understanding this new world. Dr. Adams, Mr. Washington, we have assembled a team of experts to assist you in learning about the changes that have occurred since your time. We will take this process slowly and ensure you have all the support you need. Washington, nodding, I am most grateful for thy efforts, Dr. Adams. I am eager to learn and to understand the world that hath grown from the seeds we planted. Dr. Carter, we will start with some fundamental changes in society and technology. Please feel free to ask questions at any time. Washington, very well. Let us proceed. Dr. Adams, holding up a book, this is a history book that covers the period from your time to the present. It will provide an overview of major events and developments. We will go through it together, and I will explain anything that may be unclear. Washington, taking the book and flipping through the pages, the printing is so clear, and the illustrations are most vivid. 'Tis a marvel in itself. Dr. Carter, indeed, printing technology has advanced significantly. We can now produce books quickly and in large quantities, making information more accessible to everyone. Washington, that is a most commendable advancement. Knowledge should be shared widely. Dr. Adams, let us begin with the early years of the Republic. After your presidency, the nation faced many challenges, including the War of 1812 and the Civil War. These events shaped the course of our history. Washington, listening intently, the War of 1812, thou sayest? Against whom did we fight? Dr. Adams, we fought against Great Britain once more. It was a conflict over trade restrictions, impressment of American sailors, and territorial expansion. The war ended in a stalemate, but it solidified our national identity. Washington, nodding, I see. And the Civil War? What was the cause of such strife? Dr. Adams, the Civil War was fought between the northern states, known as the Union, and the southern states, which seceded to form the Confederacy. The primary issue was slavery and states' rights. The war resulted in the abolition of slavery and the preservation of the Union. Washington, sighing, slavery was a blight upon our nation. I am heartened to hear it was abolished, though saddened by the cost of such a conflict. Dr. Carter, it was indeed a difficult period, but it led to significant social and political changes. The Reconstruction era that followed aimed to rebuild the nation and integrate formerly enslaved people into society. Washington, Reconstruction, thou sayest? How was it accomplished? Dr. Adams, through a series of amendments to the Constitution and various laws aimed at protecting the rights of African Americans. It was a challenging process, with many setbacks, but it laid the groundwork for future progress. Washington, I am pleased to hear that efforts were made to right such wrongs. What other significant changes have occurred? Dr. Carter, there have been many advancements in technology, medicine, and industry. For example, we have harnessed electricity, developed automobiles and airplanes, and made incredible strides in medical science. Washington, eyes widening, electricity, automobiles, airplanes. These are wonders beyond my wildest imaginings. Pray, tell me more. Dr. Adams, electricity powers our homes, cities, and industries. It has revolutionized the way we live and work. Automobiles allow us to travel great distances quickly, and airplanes enable us to fly across the globe in a matter of hours. Washington, such marvels. How hath these advancements been achieved? Dr. Carter, through the work of countless inventors, scientists, and engineers. Each generation builds upon the knowledge of the previous one, leading to continuous progress. Washington, I am in awe of the ingenuity and perseverance of mankind. What of the government? How hath it evolved? Dr. Adams, the government has grown more complex, with new institutions and agencies to manage the needs of a larger and more diverse population. The principles of democracy and the rule of law remain central, but the challenges have evolved. Washington, I see. It is heartening to know that the foundation we laid hath endured. I am eager to learn more and to see how I might contribute to this new world. Dr. Carter, we will continue to support you, Mr. Washington. This is just the beginning of your journey. Together, we will explore the wonders and challenges of the present. The conversation continued, with Washington absorbing the information and asking insightful questions. The team of experts provided detailed explanations, ensuring that Washington felt supported and informed. Despite the overwhelming nature of the situation, Washington's resilience and curiosity shone through, and he began to adapt to his new reality. Gradual introduction to modern technology. T+24 hours, Introduction to Modern Technology. The study room, designed to resemble an 18th century setting, had become a place of learning and discovery for George Washington. Dr. John Adams and Dr. Emily Carter had spent hours explaining the historical developments since his time. Now, they were ready to introduce him to the marvels of modern technology. Dr. Adams, Mr. Washington, we have discussed many historical events and societal changes. Now, we would like to show you some of the technological advancements that have transformed our world. Washington, nodding, I am eager to see these wonders thou hast spoken of. Pray, show me. Dr. Carter, we will start with something simple yet revolutionary, the electric light. Dr. Carter reached over to a nearby lamp and switched it on. The room was instantly illuminated with a warm, steady light. Washington's eyes widened in amazement. Washington, by the heavens! Such a bright and constant light, without the need for flame or oil. How is this possible? Dr. Adams, this is an electric light bulb. It works by using electricity, which is a kind of energy that flows through wires. When the electricity reaches the bulb, it makes a small piece inside glow brightly. Washington, still puzzled, electricity, thou sayest? This energy, how is it made? Dr. Carter, think of it like the lightning you see in a storm. We have found ways to create and control that energy to use it safely in our homes and cities. Washington, I see. 'Tis truly a marvel. What other wonders doth it power? Dr. Carter, allow us to show you another example, the telephone. Dr. Carter picked up a smartphone from the desk and handed it to Washington. He examined the sleek, rectangular device with curiosity. Washington, this small contraption, what purpose doth it serve? Dr. Adams, this is a smartphone, a device that allows us to talk to others who are far away. It also has many other uses, like finding information and taking pictures. Washington, communicate across great distances? How doth it achieve such a feat? Dr. Carter, imagine sending a message through the air, like a bird flying from one place to another. The phone changes your voice into a signal that travels through the air to another phone, where it changes back into sound. Washington, in awe, such a device would have been invaluable in my time. The ability to communicate instantly with others, regardless of distance, is beyond comprehension. Dr. Adams, indeed, it has revolutionized the way we live and work. Let us show you another marvel, the automobile. They led Washington to a nearby garage, where a sleek, modern car was parked. Washington walked around the vehicle, examining it closely. Washington, this carriage, it hath no horses. How doth it move? Dr. Carter, this is an automobile, or car. It moves by using a machine inside called an engine. The engine burns a special liquid called gasoline to make the car go. Washington, a carriage that moves without horses, powered by fire within. 'Tis truly a wonder. How fast can it travel? Dr. Adams, modern automobiles can travel at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour. They have transformed transportation and commerce. Washington, pausing, 100 miles per hour, thou sayest? I am familiar with miles and hours, but how doth this measure apply to such a speed? Dr. Carter, think of it this way, Mr. Washington. In your time, a horse might travel about 5 to 10 miles in an hour, depending on its pace. An automobile can travel 100 miles in the same amount of time. It is like having a horse that can run 10 to 20 times faster. Washington, nodding slowly, I see. So, this carriage can cover the distance from Mount Vernon to Philadelphia in just a few hours. 'Tis truly remarkable. Dr. Adams, exactly. Automobiles have made travel much faster and more efficient, allowing people to cover great distances in a short amount of time. Washington, I am astounded by the ingenuity of mankind. What other marvels doth thou have to show me? Dr. Carter, we have one more marvel to show you today, the computer. They returned to the study, where a laptop was set up on the desk. Dr. Adams opened it and turned it on, revealing the screen filled with icons and windows. Washington, this device, what purpose doth it serve? Dr. Adams, this is a computer, a machine that can think and store information. It helps us do many tasks, like writing, calculating, and finding information. Washington, a machine that can think and store knowledge. 'Tis beyond anything I could have imagined. How doth it work? Dr. Carter, it uses tiny parts inside to do its work, like a very fast and clever scribe. The computer can also connect to a network called the Internet, which is like a giant library where we can find information from all over the world. Washington, the sharing of knowledge and communication on such a scale is truly remarkable. I am eager to learn more about these devices and their uses. Dr. Adams, we will take it one step at a time, Mr. Washington. There is much to learn, but we are here to guide you. Washington, I thank thee, Dr. Adams, Dr. Carter. Thy patience and guidance are most appreciated. I shall endeavor to learn and adapt to this wondrous new world. The gradual introduction to modern technology continued, with Washington asking insightful questions and marveling at each new discovery. Dr. Adams and Dr. Carter provided simpler explanations, ensuring that Washington felt supported and informed. Despite the overwhelming nature of the situation, Washington's resilience and curiosity shone through, and he began to adapt to his new reality. Reaction to the time travel. T+24 hours, revelation of time travel. After spending hours learning about the advancements and changes in society, George Washington had begun to grasp the enormity of the world he had been thrust into. Dr. John Adams and Dr. Emily Carter decided it was time to reveal just how far into the future he had traveled. Dr. Adams, Mr. Washington, there is something important we need to discuss. You have seen many of the changes and advancements in our world, but we have not yet told you how much time has passed since your era. Washington, nodding, indeed, I have wondered about this. The changes are so vast, it must have been many years. Dr. Carter, Mr. Washington, you have traveled over 200 years into the future. The year is now 2024. Washington's eyes widened, and he sat back in his chair, processing the information. He took a deep breath, his expression a mix of awe and disbelief. Washington, 200 years. By the heavens, 'tis a span beyond my comprehension. How can this be? Dr. Adams, it is indeed a long time, Mr. Washington. The world has changed in ways that would have been unimaginable in your time. We have made great strides in science, technology, and society. Washington, shaking his head slowly, 2 centuries. All whom I knew, all that I held dear, hath long since passed. 'Tis a sobering thought. Dr. Carter, we understand this must be overwhelming. It is natural to feel a sense of loss and disorientation. We are here to support you through this transition. Washington, sighing, I thank thee, Dr. Carter. The weight of such knowledge is heavy upon my heart. Yet, I am also filled with wonder at the achievements of mankind. Dr. Adams, your legacy has endured, Mr. Washington. The principles you fought for have shaped the nation and the world. Your contributions are remembered and honored. Washington, smiling faintly, that is a comfort to hear. I am eager to learn more about this world and to see how I might contribute to it. Dr. Carter, we will take it one step at a time. There is much to learn, but we are here to guide you. Washington, I thank thee, Dr. Adams, Dr. Carter. Thy patience and guidance are most appreciated. I shall endeavor to learn and adapt to this wondrous new world. Washington's reaction to the revelation of his time travel was a mix of awe, disbelief, and a sense of loss. However, his resilience and curiosity shone through, and he expressed a desire to learn and adapt to his new reality. Dr. Adams and Dr. Carter provided support and reassurance, ensuring that Washington felt supported and informed.